Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, welcome. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library to talk about the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, and a few things that we got coming up in the future. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment, because that's what it looks like he's doing right there. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
and create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world, with the exception of 9. That's power right there, if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base, and at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. And we come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. And Jody, we have a dynamic show today. We had some technical assistance earlier to help us with our sound. So hopefully if you're listening to us, our sound should be a lot better than it was last week. We really got to get rid of those, our tech team. We have the worst, but they work for free. So, hey, we're sorry. Hey, listen, what am I wearing? I've got on a white shirt today, a white hat. I've got my glasses from Optical, Twix in between. A couple of weeks ago, Christian Moncrief and the the Vision Camp came by, and she talked about what they were doing in the community, and she also has a bus that she can drive right to your house, and you can drive to the bus. And I said, hey, look, I need some more glasses, and she brought her bus, and hey, here we are. And also, I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. 10 years ago, would this be 11 years?
Yes, it's 11 in November.
11 years in November, but 10 years ago, they had the idea of Community Solidarity Day, and they felt that that we didn't need pastors, preachers, politicians, or professionals. Just regular people could speak truth to power, grab yourself a bullhorn and some facts, and man, it worked. And here we are, 10 years later, still doing the work. And Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, they're still online, so you could friend them at your own risk.
At your own risk.
All right, it is what it is. And also, as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter, justice or else. And this is a testament of the activist community and protest culture that we can create our own spaces, all right? It always may not have to be angry all the time, but it's still our space to invite people in to speak their mind of the things that we know that's going to benefit our community.
Right,
all right.
A platform that's not going to censor them. We're not asking taboo questions or trying to get the most horrific parts of their life. We're just here having a conversation with fellow community members, like breaking bread.
Okay, all right. I didn't think about it like that. That way I got to get rid of all my taboo stuff. I got to get rid of all my taboo stuff, all right? We're not going to talk about that. Thanks a lot, Jody, all right? Hey, look, could you introduce yourself, what you're wearing, and then we're going to get into our mission statement and our guiding principles. I'm really waiting to get to our guests, too.
Awesome. What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization that, as Brother Washington has said, is about to hit 11 years of marching, protesting, and holding community events, building boards, community days, movie theaters. We possibly will have another
political forum, either the mayoral or the city council.
That's one thing we definitely did when we didn't just say we wanted to go out there with bullhorns. We wanted to actually be involved in the community. I got elected as an official and all kinds of stuff. It may be I guess what would be an alderman office in other cities, but it's still something where I do go to these meetings. I actually meet them, not just judge them based on whatever news things I do. And, we're still the show up at your house crew.
That's right. All right. Don't forget that. That part right there.
Don't let
but
the
it's all
voices and stuff fool you. We want to thank you for coming on and watching us, whether it be live or afterwards, because we know a lot of our views, a lot of our subscribers are people that watch us afterwards, which is good because we film around, time for dinner, time to go to some sporting thing. It's summertime, people are on vacation. We don't want you looking at your phone, getting into an accident. So, watch us later. And also because we are on Spotify and you can't see us, we describe ourselves to make sure that you know that these signs and these pictures, or if you go to our page, is actually us. So I'm a big brown bear of a man that's covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from doing this journey for the last year, writing books, creating artwork, performing, doing stuff that this platform or Black Lives Matter saved my life, but we do other things. That's why we are Community Solidarity Response Network, and things like that. So how do you get to this point? How do you find the will to keep going? Because there will be losses. There will be things that you kind of have to put on the shelf, have to put some capes up and some hats up and forget some friends and meet some new friends.
Yeah.
You kind of have to have a foundation to stand on. A thing that when other people come in and say, well, I know you like shoelaces, but I like blue ones. Can you like blue ones for me and not like what you like? You can say, nah, my shoelaces are whatever goes in my shoes. Something like that. As a way to break it down.
Hey, family, I'm over here. I'm here for the ride right now. I'm just locked in the car, all right? But it's all good.
But there will always be those provocateurs or people that don't believe in you until other people believe in you. And then they're like, oh, let me see what else I can find out from you without really wanting to invest much in what you do. So this is the way we make sure that our members, the people who come across, even though we are not holding live meetings, we have guests. We got 2 awesome guests today that we can't wait to tell you about. But this is how we kind of checked or, verified people coming into the organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you make it through our intro before seeing the guests. But this was what we used to have our members come in and say. It wasn't always my chocolatey, creamy voice on the mic. It was other people because I did not like to talk much. But I had to learn much through the process of wanting to see this go decades and past me. So
we have our mission statement.
Oh yeah, I forgot to throw it in the ball.
Yes, because all right, we have our mission, family. We have our mission statement and our guiding principles, and that's kind of the format and mold that we use in order to keep this thing together.
Right. So if you ever are joining something and you want to kind of know if it's legit, ask them if they have a purpose to stand on. If something that money, fame, friends, family is not going to get in the way of them doing what they said they were going to do. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice, yes, voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
And hopefully later on we'll get into our Black Lives Matter moment. That's when we look at some of the things that we've done in the past, and we'll talk about one of those things that stood out the most. And I'm not going to talk about it right now, but the last forum that we had was the Lucas County Sheriff's Forum.
Yep.
Wow, we got all these.
It's been a minute.
We got all these signs around here, but we have a sheriff forums. But
yeah, but it's cool. Oh, one thing I wanted to add to, because I always forget to do it. Brother Washington talks about how sharp he dressed and everything.
Okay.
I always forget that this isn't like something I just put on. It's just a part of me. So, of course, I got my hat on, and the shirt that I'm wearing, if you do see it in the photos and backgrounds and stuff, is that Toledo has spoken. Sorry, Dale, I wasn't able to make it this month. I had to work too long, but maybe next month. If you don't know what that is, it's a once-a-month thing at Toledo Presbyterian Church by Sacred Strings and a guy named Dale Grace. Starts off in the morning with bands and music and live singers, and it goes all the way. The second part of the day is poetry, and that actually goes on Buckeye Cable. So there's my little shameless plug, shout out of what I'm wearing.
All right. And our thanks, Joe. In our guiding principles, it's difficult having a grassroots organization and bringing all the I don't want to just say all the activists and protesters together. It's hard to do that with different energy, and everybody has a strong opinion. How do we keep that together? We have our guiding principle. That's the thing, that's the glue that keeps us together. These are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow, and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
So hopefully right after break, we're going to bring on our first guest, and then we'll get into hopefully the Black Lives Matter moment, because we talked about either we're going to have our mayoral forum or the city council. Both of those will be hot because we got some contenders, and even for the mayoral, we got some contenders there.
Yeah, we do. We have a couple write-ins and everything.
So, and I met a couple of the candidates at the African American Festival, and it seemed like they were up for the challenge of meeting and letting the public know their position and to hear from them. Hey, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. This is the CSRN Podcast, our Week in Review.
Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
I wanted to say we're back on, but I don't know what I was trying to say. Hey, but we're back on. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekly review. And if you see me looking like I'm talking to somebody off the camera, that's Jody. And he's in his producer role right now and making sure that we don't mess up too much. Family, whenever we have a guest, and this is a first-time guest today, we always ask our guests, who are they? What are they wearing? And what are we talking about today? So who are you? Hey, what are you wearing? And what are we talking about today?
My name is Quinn Griffin. I'm from the Black Mental Health Corporation. Today I'm wearing a white blazer and a fuchsia tank top.
Okay. All right. And the Black Mental Health Corporation, those, I think I met you maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
You were passing out literature. And I've never seen those 5 words together ever. The Black Mental Health Corporation. What is it and why should people know about it?
Okay, so we are originally out of Cleveland, Ohio, and we are a company that was designed to address the unique challenges and experiences faced by individuals of all backgrounds, including, but not limited to, the Black community. We provide safe and supportive space for individuals to explore their emotions, confront obstacles, and work towards personal growth.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Hey, Jody, I think that's all we know. How did you get involved with the Black Mental Health Corporation? How did that happen?
So I was fortunate enough to know the owner, and they were thinking of expanding into the greater Toledo area. And so I was asked if I would like to participate, and I was excited. I've done different things. I've always tried to support the Black community, no matter where I worked. And so this was a wonderful opportunity to really make a difference and do something that I really enjoy.
What's been the response so far? Because I saw you passing out literature, talking to people about mental health and wellness. What's been your response to so far?
The response has been phenomenal. A lot of people are excited. We have all Black therapists, all Black case managers.
Okay.
And so it's really fulfilling a need in the community. And I've had great responses from people that are very interested, that want to follow up with us. So I'm looking forward to it. We just got to the area earlier this year, and so we haven't been here quite that long, but I'm expecting that we're definitely going to jump on the scene in Toledo and be able to provide people with a lot of good care, both therapy, talk counseling, and then case management. Let's help with those day-to-day issues, because there's so many resources that people just do not know about.
So what makes, okay, so I'm bringing up all my questions that I said I didn't want to forget, right? I didn't want to forget. All right. Man, okay, so what makes the Black Mental Health Corporation different from other health services? Because we do have them in the city. And when I talk about this later on, someone asked me, well, Brother Washington, we have this organization and that organization. What makes what Quinn is doing different? So how would you answer that question?
So what makes us different is that we have all Black therapists. We have both male and female, and then we have all Black case managers. Now, we are trying our best to change the attitudes about mental health in the Black community, but what makes us stand out is that we're bringing people to you that look like you and that
Yeah.
understand. So it's very different when you're at work and you're facing someone of a different nationality, and then you come home with issues and it's causing stress with your children, your marriage, and then you say, well, the responsible adult thing to do is to, maybe talk to somebody and utilize those resources. And then you go talk to someone who looks like your boss and you're kind of like, I don't know. Not that I have any particular feelings, but
Well, I do. I do. All right. I hope my boss is watching. No, that's all right. I just pack my stuff up. I pack my stuff up now via Bluetooth. All right. I'll sure I'll get a text later on. All right. Well, then you said the temporary places, your service is no longer needed. It's all good. I got hired looking for a job, but yeah, I get that, and that's really it's really important, and I don't back down, from that, because I think people of every other nationality, hue, and color, they look to their own.
Absolutely.
All right, I never see people just clawing to get at me. No, they go to their own. Oh, you also talked about some of the struggles with mental health and how we view it, and what are some of the stigmas attached to mental health that you think keep a lot of us from shying away from mental health treatment?
I think we still have those old adages that mental health is a taboo, that mental health is something that you do in crisis. Someone's died and you're not grieving properly. Something has changed in your life, maybe a divorce or the dissolve of a relationship.
Yeah.
Your children acting out. You should be able to handle those things. You should be a better mother. You should spank them like we did in the old days. And I'm not saying that there's not a place for all of that. All we're saying is that there are various resources that we can use to deal with our everyday problems. And sometimes having someone to speak to is being an adult and handling those issues. It's really nice to hear yourself say things, to not be judged, to get good information and good advice from someone who has no dog in the fight. They haven't, created an idea of you, your family, how you parent, how you work, how you deal with your relationship. It's just someone that you can talk to who looks like you and understands game.
Look, I'm feeling like I'm getting counseled. I got her in my ears. I'm starting to feel better. All right, don't be asking me for a bill. All right, to try to bill for this. I was just listening to it, Ron, and I'm like, wow, why am I feeling better? I just remember we're in the interview right now. All right, so when did your attitude change toward mental health? Were you always open to this, or what happened that changed you?
I think that I had a very troubling incident in my youth. Very personal story is that I was working. I had good insurance.
Yeah.
Where I was working, and I'm sure there are people that are going to see this and have various comments, but nonetheless, the fluid that we were touching every day had gotten into my hands. And so when I would run to the restroom or anything, I started having female problems. And I went to the doctor because it was just a cyclical, and nothing was happening in my personal life. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably got cancer. So I made an appointment. I went to the doctor and I'm telling her, I keep having these, things happen to me and I'm sick all the time. And, I'm only like 20, 21. Like, what is happening? And I thought I had cancer. She put me on Prozac because as I described this to her, she went completely left. Well, how's your life? well, I don't know. I really hate my job. My boyfriend's cheating on me. I mean, what
Right,
does that have to do with me having, like being here?
Yeah.
Again, she put me on Prozac, and it threw me into a suicidal episode. Years later, about 7 to 8 years later, they found out that if you put younger people on Prozac, it will do exactly that.
Matter of fact, you'll see whenever they advertise those different psychotropic medications, they always say not for children under this age.
Yes.
All right. And however, that's a big difference giving a child that. And that's why I believe that Black mental health professionals are important.
Yes.
Because, man, they can speak to us as others can't.
Yeah.
And the care is different. The care is different. Now, I wanted to ask you, and thanks for sharing that, because we need to be able to hear it. Because there's someone else that's trying to figure something out, and they haven't heard you, right? And that goes a long way. And one of the things that we do at CSRN, we talk about self-care. Man, what are some of the things that you do for self-care to keep you balanced at the end of the day or at the end of the week?
I find that I have developed routines based off of research that I've done. I'm very special when it comes to research. And so I've developed systems. I have a morning routine, I have an evening routine. I do meditate. I find that over the years, people really want to pigeonhole you. And meditation is anything that you can do and let your mind go. So if it's driving at night, if it's washing your car, if it's listening to music, and you can let everything else go and just be in the moment, that's meditation. And so I do try to meditate formally to really just clear my mind. But I also, like to do all of those things. Listen to music, wash my car, whatever it is that I like. And I think we should all find those things that give us a break.
I agree.
That just let us be in the moment. The bills are going to be there. The relationship is going to be there. The family dynamics are going to be there. The children are going to be there. The job is it's not going anywhere. But if you can let it go for 15, 20 minutes and just be, then that really does help more than you know.
All right. That's beautiful. We're going to come back and talk about gratitude, but I wanted to share on our screen the Black Mental Health Corporation, and you can find them at the Black Mental Health Corporation.com. All right. Go and click on the site, and it talks about, you had said regarding healing our family, our community, one family at a time. And even though you might see that mental health services in the greater Cleveland area, well, they're on their way here. Matter of fact, they're here because Quinn is here, all right? But the same services that you might see for the greater Cleveland area, it's the same services, all right? I'm even loving that logo. It's red, black, and green, all right? I see what they did there. And as it says, the top rated health corporation for anyone, anywhere, at any time. And hopefully, we may even talk with Desmond at one point, the founder.
Yes, I'm sure he would love to come. He is originally from the Toledo area.
Okay.
He then moved with family to Cleveland.
Oh, I didn't know we moved and stayed away. I thought we normally got him back. All right. Okay. All right.
We're working on it.
We're working on that. Right. We got to have something for him, though, to stay here. All right.
That's right.
So go to the site. You'll see about the empowering mental health services, the comprehensive social support programs. Man, I think they have it all. Licensed, professional, relatable. I like the relatable part about it. Hey, I might as well punch in, Desmond. All right, I'd have punched in for the day. Man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Beautiful website.
Thank you.
Beautiful website. Straight talk. Oh, there's a video on here too. Let's click that video and see what she's saying.
In providing both in-person and virtual services, we deliver mental health support to anyone, anywhere, at any time. You won't find more professional, empathetic, personal support anywhere else. Let us prove it to you.
All right, that's beautiful. Okay, all right. So, as we close out, was there anything that we missed?
Well, we do teletherapy services. So
Okay.
it's the therapy is online, and then we have local case managers. So I think that's it, and that's everything.
All right, so
Sign up.
yeah, sign up, visit the website, keep in contact with CSRN if you figure that what happened to Quinn, just inbox it. We'll connect you. All right. However, we do that here. All right. 3 things that you're grateful for. What would those things be, Quinn?
Okay. First is thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Okay,
So
all
I
right.
can get this message out. I greatly appreciate that very much. Second thing is I'm grateful for the creator by whatever name that you call him. He's still all of our creator.
Okay. All right.
And the last thing is friends and family. My last parent died last year, and my family and especially my friends stepped up, and I can't be
That's
more
awesome.
grateful.
That's awesome. Quinn, would you be willing to come back another time to talk about the Black Mental Health Corporation and how things are expanding in Toledo, and when I'm gonna get my check for all that stuff that I shared? Would you be willing to not the check, but everything else? Would you be willing to come back?
Absolutely. I would love to.
Hey, family, this is our sister, Quinn Griffin, the Black Mental Health Corporation coming to Toledo. Well, really, we're already here. Family, this is the CSRN podcast. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Our weekend review, we'll be right back.
It's the Panama Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. And family, I don't know if this is Mental Health Awareness Day at CSRN, but we're putting on a clinic today. So if you're part of the protest culture and activist community, we're getting some gems today so that we can balance out so we could fight tomorrow or next week or whatever Jody has planned for us. All right, family. We've got our brother here, and it's a CSRN tradition that we ask who you are. What are you wearing? Because this camera, I don't know how much we spent on this camera, but it's still not doing his shirt any justice. So, Joe, we're going to have to break the bank and get another camera, all right? All right. So, who are you? What are you wearing? And what are we talking about today?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for allowing me to be here, inviting me to be here, sharing this space. I'm Ron Wells Jr. I'm a public health practitioner, public health professional. I've spent time in government and healthcare and education, currently getting my PhD in public health. I'm wearing a lavender checkered shirt, the small checks, sleeves rolled up with some khaki pants. I got my sneakers on to keep the feet comfortable. I wear running shoes a lot. Old school running shoes too.
Okay.
You know, they're comfortable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are old school. All right.
Yeah, and you know, wear what makes you comfortable.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
You know?
All right. Yeah.
And you know, today talking about public health in general in the Black community. You know, how can we get more people taking care of their health, right? Doing what matters, but also we have to change these systems as well, because behavior doesn't exist in isolation. And so the previous guest, Quinn, really just dropped some gems, and just, you know, so happy to hear about the mental health conversation today. So really just adding on to that.
Okay. So
just dive in.
All right. So let's dive in. Why do you think it's so important to disseminate this information now, when we've got so many other things going on? We got politics going on, we've got entertainment, we've got sports. So, man, why this and why now, Ron?
You know, there's no better time than now, right? We talk about health disparities, the health inequities. Obviously, there's a history, right? When we talk about our Black community and the mistrust of the medical system and redlining and how all of these things, the political aspect of it, you can't separate health from politics.
Wow.
At all.
Yeah. I never heard that before, but yeah.
You can't separate.
We should be writing this down, Jody, so we can use it on our next show and have us look like geniuses again. Yeah.
And so, you know, so that, yes, this is the time, and in this space where in our government, in our federal government, right, when, you know, they are trying to censor the conversation about equity,
right,
which is, you know, everyone, regardless of where you come from, getting a fair chance at health, right? To say that there's fairness in those opportunities, but you have to name things, right? We have to name. The job of public health is to name who's at risk.
That's right.
Right. Why are they at risk? Where? Right? If it's a condition that impacts women, Asian, Black, whatever, we have to name that, and then we have to go out and solve that problem. And so right now that is being a challenge. So we need this platform. We need to continuously take back this narrative of our health,
right?
The actions for our health.
Right. I know we talked. I think we talked about that with Quinn, but I'll even talk to you about it, because when we go out in the community, this conversation, maybe not in every barbershop, but some barbershops that I might frequent, I don't have any hair, so I'm selling Final Call newspapers. All right. So I'm selling Final Call newspapers, and public health may not be the topic. So how do we bridge that gap so that I can go back to Steve's Sporting Cuts or Nitty's or Foster's Barbershop and go in with a better statement and a better message regarding public health?
That's a great point, and I am actively thinking about that question.
Yeah,
right? You know, I think about health in general and in the Black community all the time. As an academic, I'll say this, and I'll get to your question, right? So as an academic,
go ahead, let's go.
Right, I do a lot of research, and I am going to quote, research, right? And it's not all of, Black people are not a monolith. So it's not everyone's experience, but there's really a lot of research out there
Yeah, go ahead.
about the way in which African Americans seek health, and especially Black men, right? So I think one piece in answer your question, right, in the barbershops, which there are a lot of successful barbershop programs, especially in Toledo, right? Especially in Toledo, the whole, Sons of Toledo, which Jody's in. Shout out to Jody over there. Like that movie, that effort started in the ProMedica's efforts for Black barbershops. And I know a lot of those individuals, but I think for men, it's a element of vulnerability, right? And strength and that mistrust. There's research that I think is really interesting that looks at Black men's experience with racism, everyday racism, coupled with masculinity, right? Like the traditional norms of, all right, I have to see myself as, strong, independent, stoic, and there's a place for all of those, right? But discouraging that vulnerability to say, all right, I'm going to go get checked out, right? I'm going to know something. I'm going to go and intentionally have a conversation with my healthcare provider, even if I get some news that I might not want to hear, right? And that I have to face.
Right.
And so it's that vulnerability piece, right? Layered in with just being a Black man and existing in this world. So there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of safety in just even making that first step. And so how do we reclaim saying, really the strength is for your family and for you knowing everything that's going on with your body.
Right. That's right. And I think that a lot of us as men have been discouraged from having those conversations. We'll say that real men don't cry. Real men don't ask for directions. What you don't know won't hurt you. You don't smile. We don't get checked out. You're going to die anyway. Your dad lived to be a ripe old age of 51. He lived a full life. So we've got generations of us as older men passing down ignorance, in the face of the facts that you're saying, which are true, but you've got that other element of us that are continuing to share, these types of things that keep younger people from getting checked. I advocate for everyone at the age of 42 or maybe start younger, get your prostate checked, get your colon checked. I don't know anybody that'll just drive a car without getting the oil changed.
Right. I would say if Black men, you should between 35, start at 35, between 35 and 40, you should be getting the PSA.
Yeah.
Right. It's a simple blood test. I'm 35 now and I got one at 32. Right. My dad was diagnosed a few months ago, right, with stage 1 prostate cancer, got the prostatectomy, had surgery, is cancer free, is back to his self. But that means that I'm at higher risk. And I know this because I do work for a statewide cancer organization, and we can talk more about that later if we get into it. But Black between 35 and 40, you can right now get a PSA, and then that's going to be your baseline because you're young and the numbers should be normal, right? So get your baseline, and then you check it every 5 years or sooner as you get older.
Right. And that's what, and if we want to start saying that, we say, what, a real man? Okay, I don't know who wrote the book on that real man stuff, but that real man stuff is getting us, putting us in the grave. Oh, who was that? That real man stuff is putting us in the grave early. All right, not sharing information, not wanting to talk. And also, if there is somebody my age that wants to talk about it, we'll tell them, oh, man, we don't talk about that soft stuff. We only talk about sports, So that thing has to change. But I do want to talk to you about some of the other things that we had talked about that I think the public needs to know. what are some of the barriers that you see in getting the information to where it needs to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and it depends on what that message is, right? And who that message is, what it is, and then who it's being targeted at. I mean, there's a whole science of public health messaging, but truthfully, and two things that I wanted to bring up is one, our history, right? Because
All right.
I became a history nerd like later in life, right? I didn't really pay attention in high school or even in college, but in my young adulthood, really started to learn history, and especially African American history, right? And so, the notion that, so I'm going to quote research again, right? So there's research that specifically in gentrification research, which I'm doing my dissertation in, right? So what happens? You have a Black neighborhood, and then all of a sudden you have the Whole Foods comes in, right? The nice grocery store, which we need, and then you might have some retail, and you got the yoga studio that comes in, and you have all of these elements, right? But there's research that suggests that African American individuals, again, not the experience of everybody, but in general, we see these things as associated with whiteness, right? So your holistic practices of herbs and organic food and therapy and and crystals and whatever the case may be, that's packaged as something foreign to us, right? But when we look at our history, right? When we look at our history, we are the originators, right? When you think about the people of Western Africa, and I mean, before vegan was a thing, right? We had majority plant-based diets.
Yeah.
You want to talk about holistic healing? If you watch Sinners, right? It's a great movie, and Stack's woman, I can't remember her name, was because they were smoking stack. But then there's a scene where woman, a prominent character in the film, right, has all her herbs, and she's like, let me give you this saffron, right? And so this is something that I think is just reclaiming who owns wellness, right?
Man.
And it's our community. We own our own wellness, and all whether it's yoga. You ever been to a yoga class?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Whether it's that, whether it's therapy, it's like, how can we start to talk about owning these things? And I have some ideas, but I think that's what we have to tackle.
Okay. All right, man. All right. I need you to come back, because this is this is a conversation that we're going to have, because yes, there's a lot of issues in our community, but if we don't get well, it matters not if we do the police reform. If we don't get well, it matters not if I've got one more street light that I put up.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do something regarding self-improvement, and it starts with our health. It doesn't start with what I'm wearing or what type of phone that I have or what I'm driving. All right, it starts with our health.
100%.
And our health, man, and we even have to look at our health as more than just at what's advertised on television or what's in Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to, like you said, reclaim that. All right.
That's what this discussion is about, and really just following up on
Man.
Quinn's point about mental health and the experience with a Black therapist, right? So I've had I've taken care of my mental health, and I've seen counselors since I started at UT, right? I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, and this is my adopted home, and I came out here, I had no family, no friends, no connections, and that really weighed on me. 3 years into school, that really weighed on me, and needed to seek that counseling on just getting myself straight.
Right.
And my experience, I had mostly white women, as counselors,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to discredit the like the help that I did get from them, because I think, you know, it's a question of access. And so if you got a white therapist, you know, you can still get some benefit from it, even though, you know, that cultural, you know, there just may be a cultural gap there,
Okay,
right?
I got you.
And so, but that's what I did experience that. And after a while, you know, now I have a black therapist, and am able to just align on that cultural aspect. But, you know, regardless, I just can't stress enough that it's really the strength element, right? Reclaiming our wellness is strength. Full stop.
Yeah. And that's revolutionary too.
That's revolutionary, brother.
Just in case somebody think, well, Brother Washington, is mental health revolutionary? Well, I'm like, yeah, look at us. Look how many activists that we've seen, all right, get to the height of their activism only to not have that self-care thing in place. And that doesn't exclude myself and Jody, you know, from it. We just happen to be in front of the camera and behind the mic, all right? But that doesn't mean that we don't get help. That doesn't mean that we don't have anybody to talk to, all right? It's a great chance that we do in order for us to do this type of work that we do. So that leads me into self-care, which is one of our principles. Anyone that's in a part of our network know that we will shut this stuff down in a second. We will say, no political talk today or this week or this month. No, we're not doing no rallies. We're not doing any protests, regardless if they're planned or not. All right. No, we're going to look within and pull it in. So what is it that you do, Ron, for self-care?
Yeah, absolutely. So I meditate, I chant, I practice and study Buddhism. And so there's a chant, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. If you ever watch What's Love Got to Do with It with Tina Turner, right? So like Tina Turner is
we can bring her in.
Practitioner, you know.
All right, we can bring her in. All right,
to the GOAT.
All right.
So I spend a lot of time reflecting, meditating, you know, putting myself in that spot. I think that's important. And prayer can look different ways, right? So
yeah,
you
I'm
know,
with that.
So just, you know, prayer is super important, and having that reflective time. I exercise, so I'm a triathlete.
Yeah, we already see that. We can hold that part down, because now people start looking. They say one of these things are not like the other.
And shout out to, you know, I mean, there's some good brothers and sisters out here really creating community, right, around exercise, right? This BRB Run Club, that I just saw, and these brothers are like taking off, right, in the community over there.
Right. I love to watch them on the internet. No doubt, no doubt.
DeAndre Gaston over at Go Time Grind, he's doing some good work. What's that?
We shouted about it.
BRB.
Tuesday and Saturday.
Tuesday and Saturday. And Alan Rich, brother named by Alan Richardson. He has All In Academy, working with youth, doing flag football. And so, you know, whenever I see somebody in that space,
that's right, man.
You know, cheering them on. And you know, I think community, right? Community and just sharing gratitude and trying to experience gratitude is important for my self-care. And nature, right? Going outside and experiencing nature is something that we as people, right, and especially as a Black people need to do, right? In Illinois, we had some parks, but you've been in Chicago, it's like our metro park system really is phenomenal. To get out there, take a walk, right? Whether it's by yourself, whether it's somebody else, and just see how much better you feel, right? Go out there for 15, 20 minutes, right? And just see how good you feel.
All right. You talked about gratitude as part of your self-care. Could you give us 3 things that you're grateful for, Ron? What would those things be?
You know, thank you. So again, I'm grateful to be here.
Right? And I'll say this.
100% grateful to be here.
This is a good looking brother, all right?
I appreciate that.
That's a good looking black man.
I appreciate
All right,
that,
yes,
man.
sir.
I'm really feeling good about where I am in life right now. And with that though, I'll say I'm grateful for the adversity, right? Because I'm experiencing that just in my own life right now, personally, and taking care of my health. And I feel good about the challenge because I know this is a propelling moment, right? So I'm grateful for adversity. I'm grateful for the people that care about us and don't judge us even when we are not at our greatest, right?
That part, yeah.
Because we are, there's imperfection as we, strive toward being our best selves. And, the last thing, I'm grateful for a vacation.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm going on a trip soon, so I'm grateful to just experience. Let me just say that, right? To have experiences in life. If you are thinking about doing something or you're teetering on it, just do it. There's no perfect scenario.
That's right.
Anytime. There's only imperfect starts. Just start. Just
okay.
do it.
All right.
Right.
Okay. All right, man. Would you be willing to come back? Because this is a dynamite conversation that needs to be had. And I think that it's important for people to see two men from different generations. All right. I'll be 62 on Friday. So I represent the age of men who feel like this is just the way I am and I can't change. Yes, we can. Yeah, we can. We should always be willing to listen to sound knowledge and guidance. If it's coming from our young people, all right, where else are we going to get new ideas? All right.
And I represent an age of men who may still think we're a little invincible.
Yeah.
Right. You know, it's like, I don't need to get that checked out. I can still do this. I can still hang out like I used to.
And I'm here to say, hey, bro,
5 years ago, 10 years ago. And it's like, it'll catch up. And so, I would love to come back.
All right.
I really appreciate what you're doing.
All right, we're going to segue out with the commercial from Brothers and Sisters United. Our sister Avis Files is doing it big in the city of Toledo. This is CSRN Podcast. Man, thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
Our Week in Review. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
And shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
All right, we are back. Yep, now we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. Jody, it is 7:16. I'm going to pass it on to you. I just want to let everybody know that, well, let me put this up here. To check out this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. On the cover, we have our brother Malcolm Jamal Warner, and as tributes, prayers, and reflections continue to be shared by people in all walks of life as they honor and remember the life and cultural impact of actor, director, and artist Malcolm Jamal Warner. So when we mention his name during our Kwanzaa celebration, we say Ashe, or for all of those that have passed on and now are ancestors. So much love and respect. And at this point, Jody, I want to get into our shout outs and our sub dates, some of the things that we've done, some of the things that we want to promote that's coming up in the future. And I got to hear the 5 minutes of heat today.
Yeah, the 5 minutes of heat is actually going to be interesting when it's the end of July. This is this month's last show. And then we get into Black August.
We get into Black August. We've lined up a couple of our brothers and sisters that are former confined citizens, and Black August is about how our imprisoned revolutionaries made an impact so that those of us out here can benefit from that. So we got a couple of our brothers and sisters lined up for Black August. And also we were in talks, I think we were in talks with Kristen Moncrief about taking over our site for one of the weekends so that she could share some of the concepts of the Vision Camp and some of the things that she's doing with Optigo Twixt in Between. So Black August is going to, I don't want to say lit because I think they probably said something else now. All right, I just learned that word. All right, I just learned that word last week, but I want to just put myself out there. So Jody, when we talk about sub dates, what's some of the things that we want to promote and some of the things that we've been involved in?
Well, I haven't been involved in too much. I did do a couple of things last week, and I'm going to name them off. This coming up week, there's actually a lot of concerts I'm going to be naming off, but I'm enjoying the summer of after the African American Parade, not really having to do too much and stuff like that. I doom scrolled for about 8 hours yesterday, 3 minutes at a time, and I saw some stuff,
That's a long time.
It's good to have, though, because I can sit at home and not have to come outside.
Oh, okay.
The heat and be baked. Because if anybody doesn't know, Toledo is living up to the whole Frog Town and swamp right now. It has been very moist heat in the air. So you go outside, you feel like you're choking a little bit. But it's good, though, because, at least the season's changing and stuff like that, somewhat similar. But I did see a couple of other people passed over the weekend, one being in like them or not. I tend to think of celebrities or, and stuff as who they are on TV. The person and stuff I separate.
Okay.
So I know that's a lot hard for a lot of people, but I think we did mention him, Ozzy Osbourne and the Hulk, as you knew him if you were childhood wrestling, whatever, something more than entertainment, and he was a part of that. So whatever legacy he did after that, in certain words and posts and stuff, like there. A lot of the things I see people as human.
Okay,
and if their legacy wasn't about it, it depends now.
Okay,
there's a lot of people.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I have you speaking at my funeral. All right, well, hope you say the same thing. All right, say the exact same thing.
But I did notice some other things, like we got some brand new golf courses in Scotland, and we're still wondering where that list is.
Okay, yeah.
Josh Johnson, I think that's his name, got to be the host of his daily show or something like. He's a writer for there. I've seen him on skits and stuff.
Yeah.
But that is interesting, seeing that he broke the record on most views and stuff like that. Black excellence, keep going and stuff like that. So that's just some things I saw while I was scrolling in the world. Now, if you are local, these are kind of things that I've seen or I get invited to, whether I can or not be there. I still try and promote because that's what we are as a community, as long as it's nothing that's not community based. I'm not promoting your rap show or the trap shoot shot or this brand new liquor store you're opening or bar, unless it's a community event. But even that gets kind of, because now everybody, it's back to school time, so everybody's got a back to school something, come drop off a book bag, get a shot. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway.
Okay. The words that's expressed by Jody are, number one, my mixtape will never come out as long as you're here. But okay. All right, Jody. All right. That's why we have you here.
But here's some stuff I was able to attend. I think I only did one thing because, yes, I work at the Art Museum now, which is awesome. I can tell people, no, I can't be there. I just kind of stuck in a way because then at this point, even though I have to say, as a kid, that's where we toured. That was a childhood place to go in and see art. And now I'm kind of stuck in a way. I don't think nobody's going to be watching this. A lot of people know me, honestly. That's like, hey, I follow you on Facebook. I'm like, you're the Board of United Way. they've been liking my post too. So I'm not sure who it is exactly, but thank you for letting me know, at least whoever's at the United Way page.
Okay.
You didn't text me. No. Thank you so much for the engagement. Wednesday, July 23rd, I went to the Northwest Ohio Business Mentoring Program spring cohort for their graduation. It was awesome. I attend these things when I can, want to see it in my email, because again, elected official. I feel as a civil servant, it's my responsibility, because I'm not district bound. I'll go to any side of town when I can and try and show up so people can feel like, I mean, yes, I'm not a city councilman or the mayor, but you did have an official there that was there to witness your growth in whatever area it was in. So small little titles, but it was fun. It was held at the library down at the basement, where they have still some rooms. I guess the old idea was to be all like office space and stuff, but it's still down there. It was nice. I saw a few people that we've had on the show before. Olivia Holden. I got a story to tell you about that later. And then some other people, Elisa, who did the meditation.
Yeah. Okay.
Not meditation, but the yoga and everything. And she still got some events coming up. She was one of the graduates, and it was good. Food was good and stuff. You can see it on my page. And we have the 5th annual 419 Family Cookout presented by FTGR and the Head Shed. That was over at Poe Road. Out there, you saw me a couple of years ago, Annika Woods in that area. I did a festival out there, which was fun, camping and everything, but they had their 5th annual family barbecue cookout. July 26th, there was the Art Loop Young and Arty Summer Party. No, some of it was canceled, but I believe they did still have indoor events because of the weather that day. It was supposed to rain and stuff like that. So they wanted to make sure it was safe for people being out. Monday was the Safe Children, Safe Communities conversation and resources. This was held, Blair invited me, and this was at 3422 LaGrange Street, Toledo, Ohio. I'm not sure all the things of the event, but it was by Lucas County Children's Services. It's a way of them trying to move forward and everything. And because, it's not many services around, especially a lot of them are being cut by the big, beautiful pile of stuff. I won't just say online and school programs and stuff like that. So regardless of things, I think these organizations and grassroots and mental health things need to keep going because, as we've learned, because we do a nonprofit, some of that funding is gone, unfortunately, and it may not come back. I have to keep fighting for it and stuff like that to keep our communities and our villages safe, and the people who are at the top are not your friends. Anyway.
Okay.
So
once again, the words, just in case we'd have lost 2 more friends, I'm looking at our, all right, that's all good, Jody.
It's okay. They know,
right.
Some of them on the board right there. But, so these are the things coming up. I'm going to try and do these a little bit fast because then we're going to get into 5 minutes of heat. It is 7:25. So we thank you all for coming on and stuff like that. And good to see our guest. Ronnie's walking out with all
have
the
to call him
burgers and
out.
stuff.
You didn't have to call him out.
Leave it
all
early.
right.
Can't make the 5 minutes of heat. No, I'm just teasing people. But make sure you watch the end of the show. No.
All right. Okay.
So coming up today, actually, there's some events because we see a lot of events and stuff like that, but we can't be to them because, we're here.
Hey.
We're filming. I tell everybody, as I have for over a decade now, that if it's on a Tuesday, I might not make it. Song reference. But anyway, today at 7:30, there was the Earth, Wind, and Fire, or there is the Earth, Wind, and Fire at the Toledo Zoo Amphitheater. If you got your tickets and all that good stuff, hopefully you get a chance to go out and see them. This Thursday at 6 p.m. is the Community Movie Nights at the Toledo City Parks. Which park it's going to be, I'm looking right now. That is, this one is Wilson Park. I want to say, no. They have a schedule on a thing, but you can go to the Facebook page and see all of the stuff.
All right.
This one is 2131 Castlewood Drive. So they are showing The Bad Guy. I'm pretty sure that's weather pending, but that is July 31st, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. This Friday, I've seen it. I don't know what it is. I'm not a consumer. I don't really shop, but it's something that people seem to be excited about.
All right.
Crazy Bins, Toledo grand opening, 3314 Secor. I guess it's something like a discount store.
I think it's going to be like a Big Lots.
A Big Lots or something. Yeah, because we did lose all of them and a whole bunch of other stuff. Friday through August 3rd is Toledo Jeep Fest 2025, 401 Jefferson downtown. If you don't know, this is kind of one of the things we as Toledoans are known for is the Jeep, amongst other things. This Friday at 6 p.m., Sylvania Writes Out Loud. They have a poetry slam at Olives on Main. This Saturday, 4 p.m., there is the Gospel on the Green Weekend 2025. It is 1406 Kev Street. I believe that's key, and it looks like a Y.
All right.
But I'm believing that's the Lucas County Fairgrounds. And the last couple of things are Esham and the Convalescents live at Frankie's 308 Main. I was at his show in Detroit at the Harpo's. So.
The rapper Esham?
Esham, yeah. I was backstage.
Okay.
It was fun. We all got to hang out and everything like that. So I might be able to see him this Saturday at 6 p.m. at Frankie's. Also this Saturday is the Ottawa Park Concert Series at the Ottawa Park Amphitheater at 6 o'clock. There's a lot of stuff on Saturday.
I know.
At 7:30, there's Art and Tacos, Art Show and Taco Party Toledo, 137 North Michigan Street at 7:30. And that is everything that is coming up until our next show.
All right. So right before we get to 5 minutes of heat, if you like what we do, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, share, and comment. We're looking to get at least, 100,000 subscribers. We're not our show speed or Kai Sinat. We're not any of those, but we want to get one of those plaques in the mail.
Names out.
Yeah, come on now. You know, I do this in real life, but we want to get one of those plaques. We are far from 100,000.
Hey, but we're getting better. We got reels on our page now.
Right.
If you haven't checked out.
So all you have to do is, if you don't know where we are, go to YouTube, type in Community Solidarity Response Network. I know it's a lot of letters. It's a lot of letters, but you only have to do it one time. If you want to support what we do, you can support us via Cash App. That's the cash tag CSRN Toledo 419, and like us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, listen to us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and as soon as Jody finds it in his heart to resubscribe to X, formerly known as Twitter,
Epstein files come out first.
We'll start having some tweets. All right. So that cash app is hashtag CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. We do have some of the Black Lives Matter signs. We still have our signs up at Smead and Doors. So shout out to Toledo for leaving those signs up. We have those, and we have the Defund the Police signs. We have a few of those out on the corner of Smead and Door. And if you like those signs, if you like one in front of your home, just inbox us. We'll bring them out. I think that's all I have to cover for today. What we're going to get into now is what we call 5 minutes of heat. It's how we close out. Most times, nonprofits and other organizations, they'll close out with a gavel and say, this meeting is adjourned. Do I have someone to second it? Do I have someone to third it? I don't know if they say third it, but anyway.
No, we just second.
Yeah, okay, thanks. All right. Well, we take a different approach at CSRN. We use creative expression, and we come up with the name 5 Minutes of Heat. That's from the song 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini back in the day. You would not know that song. Nope. Neither would Quinn, but it's all good. All right. I'm the oldest in the house. Whoop, whoop. But we flipped it. It turned it into 5 Minutes of Heat. And for the last 10 years, going on 11 years, Jody has been magnificent in giving his skill set for spoken word. Brother, what do we have today for 5 Minutes of Heat?
Well, also, because I've heard that when you say this on the show and stuff like that, you might get some more views. Before we come back with Washington, as a birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this Friday, I don't think I have it in my Facebook profile because I don't. All right. I just don't. But Friday, I'll be 62. And I think that I've managed to do that following a lot of the things that Quinn is talking about, a lot of the things that Ron is talking about. And there's a book. If you get this book, it's two books called How to Eat to Live. They were written by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if you can follow those guidelines to some degree, I think that a lot of us can turn back that clock of time, because I know a lot of men that are 62 and a lot of us are checking it in, So that's my bit of wisdom to pass on, because I do it. I try my best to watch what I eat. Am I perfect? Absolutely not, because my wife be on and say, no, you don't. But I try my best. So, yeah, shout out to my wife, who is the chief scientist. All right, when I go home, if I don't pick something up with Jody, she's the chief scientist.
Yeah, I ain't telling her
Hey,
stuff.
I know that's no. She already know. All right, when I ain't hungry when I come home. All right, but yeah, shout out. Thanks for that.
All right. So what we have, as everybody know, I released my 24th publication. I think I'm at like 26 now because something came out in Cincinnati. But my independent publications, I just keep the number count because for newspapers and articles, that's important.
That's right.
That's not something I dreamed of when I was a little kid, that I would be in movies and films and writing books and performing all over the world. So every day I am given the opportunity to create art wherever I am. I feel honored by my creator and all that good stuff. Speaking as Ron was saying, that I actually get to say, we used to have a joke. What happens when you bring into the room Christian, the Muslim, and the Buddhist? And the punchline to that would have been change.
Change.
So we had two Buddhists in the room today. Ron is a good friend of mine from other sources, and before the unspeakable virus we don't talk about, we used to go to temple and all that stuff, and I still take that with me and practices and stuff. I just don't mention it a lot because people,
Yeah. They were like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You're supposed to be this way.
Especially with the melanin in my skin. But,
yeah. Okay.
So,
all right. Okay. I get that. All right.
My book turns 3 months on the 5th of next month. And since it's the last show, I'll probably mention it again, but this is the intro. So if you read the cover of my book and then you open the book and you see the intro of why I wrote this book and stuff like that, this is it. And it's kind of poetic, and that's why I made it like that. Of course, it doesn't have a title, but you can think of it as another reason to purchase Childhood Trauma Series Volume 2, A Decade of Recovery Through Art. Let's begin. Peace. For 30 years of my life, I fell victim and prey to what society told me I was supposed to be. I never had a voice. I never felt seen. And I was just big guy who smiles a lot, doesn't know how to communicate well with others, and is capable of taking a lot of punishment, physically, mentally, and especially emotionally. So I just gave up. I stopped trying to be everything society wanted me to be because I failed miserably at all of it. Relationships, family, jobs, goals, religion, spirituality, education, being a productive member of what we call society. I found a way to empty myself, though, of everything that I was programmed to believe I was supposed to be, and through that process, I found myself. In 2012, I took a chance and decided to speak, to tell the world my thoughts, my ideas, that I was a human being who was worthy of every enough I deserved. It's not been easy. I've been broken, betrayed, rebuilt, taken apart, put back together, missing a few pieces, and made whole again through my art. It's okay not to feel normal. In a world that is just trying so desperately to quantify perfect, when all you have to do is live. Mistakes are going to come because that's how you learn. No one in the history of no one is better than anyone else. But you are unique, just like every other living thing on this planet. I do this for a living now because I failed at everything else. And I don't have to try to be nobody but myself. I hope this message reaches the person it's supposed to meet, or they take for granted how precious life can be. Some people read this in my voice. Keep going. It's going to be okay. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. I want to thank you, Jody, for that. I want to thank you for that. And big shout out to Quinn Griffin and Ron Wells Jr. for coming in and putting on a mental health clinic today. Yeah. All right. And you got that family at no cost. All right. So as always, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.